There's a bunch of minor gods in Camp Half-Blood. Google's the god of information.
Ah, but of course.
And the Roman aspect AI is just horrible.
What's good? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Newest Olympian. My name is Mike Schubert. I am the titular Newest Olympian. I am a 34-year-old man who never read the Percy Jackson books as a kid, but I read them as an adult because I was on a quest to see if society had been sleeping on the series, and I said yes. Now I'm seeing if society has been sleeping on the Heroes of Olympus series, and we are making our way through the House of Hades, and I'm joined by a very special guest who has not been on in a minute, but we are glad to have him back. You know him. You love him. It's Dr. Stephen Parra. How's it going, Dr. Stephen Parra?
Yo, it's going so good. I'm excited to come back. It's been a hot minute. You're right.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've had a run of non-live show episodes after exclusively only doing live show episodes.
That's true.
For the House of Hades, and you're just a busy boy. I guess becoming a big doctor and stuff. Ugh. Not out there in the streets like me providing actual benefit to the world when people are bored on their commutes, and I'm here for them.
You know, yeah, nobody tells you how long it takes to be a doctor. Nobody.
No, it's famously underreported.
And don't sell yourself short, dude. I need to listen to things on my commute.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful break.
Don't sell yourself short, dude. People die without you. So
fair enough.
I know people talk about dying from boredom, but I don't know how many times it actually is the cause of death.
You know, we didn't talk about that much in med school. I should write them about that. That's a flaw.
Maybe you'll get to that next year. Maybe you'll get that. They save it to the end. That's only for the only when you get into the real deep specialties.
Yeah, they're like, all right. And behind this door is the real cause of boredom.
Whoa. But we are here to cover chapters 51 and 52, most of 51 and 52. We did a little tiny bit of chapter 51 with Michael Hollis in our last episode, but we've got the chunk of it. For true peek behind the curtain full context, we're recording this portion. We have only read up to chapter 51 because we just have like this little pocket of time to record this, and then we're going to try to figure out when to do chapter 52. So at least currently, up until the mid-roll break, all I know is what's in chapter 51. I have no idea what's in chapter 52, and then Stephen and I will find another time. It's a busy time where the schedule that we had, it got wrecked in what I would say is just the best reason possible, which is, oh no, my beloved 2025 NBA Cup champion New York Knicks are in the 2026 NBA Finals, and my dad flew to town so that we could go to Game 4 together. And I'm not trying to dunk on Dr. Stephen Parra, who is a dedicated Spurs fan, but we did, this is just an objective fact, we did attend the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history, so that can just put into perspective what it was like to be at that game, depending on who you're rooting for.
I think it's going to be an iconic game. I think you watched the definitive game of this series, period.
Yes. I think even if the Knicks lost, which they won't because Knicks in 5,
yeah,
I still think like no matter what happens, I was at that game, which is pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah.
But I personally would love if the Knicks would win in 5. I understand that you would love the Spurs to win in 7, which is still
of course
legally in play at the time of recording.
Yes, legally.
What would be, we'll see when we record it, but it would be kind of funny if the first part is before the finals are over.
And the second part is after.
The second part after. It's like, wow, one of these boys sounds way too happy, and one of these boys sounds way too sad. But I did appreciate that even as the playoffs were going and both of our teams were progressing, we both genuinely feel this way, that we were hoping for Knicks Spurs because genuinely, even though the Knicks have not won the NBA Finals in decades, it's been since 1973. We're talking 53 years. Really long time. We haven't even been in the finals since 1999. So that's another 27-year run of just not achieving the goal. Genuinely, if you guys want, I'd be happy for you. And some of my other friends that are very dedicated Spurs fans. So best case scenario, where like, I don't really know anybody that likes the Thunder. So when it came down to Spurs Thunder, I was like, I don't want to play the Thunder. I think we're a worse matchup against them. And I don't know anybody that would be happy. If anything, I just know lots of people who'd be really upset because I used to live in Seattle, and the Thunder famously, they are the team, they stole Supersonics from Seattle, and then they
still messed up.
I only know people that would have been angry.
Yeah, exactly.
No one that would be happy.
I know. If people could see the text we've exchanged during the finals, it's a very wholesome Just
Yeah, it's incredibly wholesome that like there have been some truly crushing losses on behalf of the Spurs where it's like a big play to mess something up, or this one where it was this big dramatic comeback, and both times you were like, wow, nice job.
yeah, exactly.
Which I commend you for. Enough basketball talk though. Some nerds out there are like, oh my God, stop it. I'd rather just be on my commute in silence than this right now. If you want to hear me gab about this in grave detail, listen to Horse, a very good basketball podcast. But let's get into our discussion of the remainder of chapter 51. Right, because are you all caught up on all the different guest questions, the guestions? I feel like we had a new one. We had a recent one pop up very recently, but I think
the last thing I answered was my cabin.
Yeah, I think there was one new one. Oh, yeah. I think the new one is, you know how the Giants are the anti-gods.
Yes.
What would anti-Steven be? Yeah,
oh
what would anti-Dr. Stephen Parra be if Gia was forming something to combat you in battle?
I feel like it'd be just a massive jerk. Like...
I like it.
Just going out of his way not to be kind when that could be the option. Probably still a really smart cookie, but just a real jerk about it. Not helpful, not trying to share anything. Probably really condescending, and probably just a horrible chef.
Yeah. Hates limes. Despises limes.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'd be caught dead at the movie theater.
Okay. Yeah, you're just really unsportsmanlike when it comes to fandom. It blames every loss on external factors.
Yeah. Just completely unself-aware, I think.
Oh, no hot sauce for me, please. Yeah. Drinks exclusively light beer.
Yeah. Man, this guy sucks.
Not a good hang. Not a good hang. Never drives anyone around in his car when he's nearby in the vicinity.
Nope. It's on the way. What's up? Yeah, okay.
All right, let's get into it. So where we last left our heroes, Leo had come upon a big hunk of metal that he is believing, or at least I think, is most likely a gift from Hephaestus. He's still on Calypso's island in Ogygia, not to be confused with Ogugwa Anunoby, star player of the New York Knicks, who could potentially win NBA Finals MVP, especially given his performance last night with the game-winning tip and some incredible defense towards the end. I was already planning on getting an OG Anunoby jersey before these finals, and oh boy. I will be getting one. I think it just might be harder to get one because now my favorite player is everyone's favorite player.
Yeah.
But anyway, Percy Jackson. So Leo drags this metal back to his campsite and he makes a forge out of mud bricks. You know, like you do.
Yeah.
Just easy peasy. Oh, yeah. No problem. I can do this. Sure.
Yeah, I think he plays a lot of crafting games in his spare time.
Ooh.
You know? Minecraft, Factorio.
Factorio? What's that? I've never even heard of Factorio.
Oh, man. It's like you get stranded on an alien planet and then you have to manufacture a spaceship to get off. But you basically make entire industrial production loops. So it's like, okay, I want to build circuits, so I have to mine ore and then combine that into a different machine to then make circuits.
I dig it. Very tinkery crafty kind of game.
Very tinkery craft. Oh, Leo would love Factorio.
Okay, well, yes, that tracks for sure. So he makes a forge of mud bricks and he uses a rock as an anvil base. He takes out enough nails from his tool belt to melt them into a plate for hammering. And then he starts recasting the bronze scraps. And he works every night until he or his equipment just breaks down from being overexhausted. Now, the first time Calypso visited, it was to complain about the noise and the smoke, and Leo starts being all sassy, but then he is taken again by her beauty, and he's envious of her food. She asks what he's doing, and he says that he's trying to get off the island, which she seems like she should want as well, but she insists that he needs to eat some food, since it's been 2 full days without him eating. He's shocked that it has been so long, and he's also shocked that she noticed. So he thanks her, and then pledges to work a bit more quietly. So our enemies to lovers trajectory continues and continues.
Oh, yes. I find it strangely relatable. There's times where I can be super locked into a goal and sit there being like, I haven't eaten since 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so just seeing Leo go all in on that kind of perspective, like 2 days straight, I'm like, damn, this kid is locked in.
Yeah, it's more rare for me because I am often quite a hungry boy, but I think it 100% manifests in the opposite direction. When I am bored, like when I was bored at work as an engineer, I had to snack every hour on the hour. I had like a regimen. It was like oatmeal at this time, peanut butter on a rice cake at this time, orange at this time. Gosh. But yes, every now and then I'll have one of those like, oh my goodness, I haven't eaten, but God, when I'm bored, I gotta munch. Gotta munch when I'm bored.
I mean, eating's great.
It's good
One
stuff.
of my favorite things.
Highly recommend it. So the next time Calypso visits, Leo is finishing up his first project. She spooks him accidentally, announcing that she brought him something, and he goes, "Bronze bulls, girl, don't sneak up on me like that." Great. Sounding like an Adam West Batman character.
I know, right?
Narrator Leo lets us know that she's wearing red today, and red is Leo's favorite color, which Narrator Leo lets us know is irrelevant, and that she looks good in red, which Narrator Leo also lets us know is irrelevant.
Sure, buddy.
Sure. The gift that she has brought is the outfit that he wore when he arrived at Camp Half-Blood, but it is in pristine condition, and it is sized up to fit his growing physique, because he, being a teenager, has grown a little bit since he first arrived at Camp Half-Blood in The Lost Hero. Which I think is very sweet. And as Leo will soon get into, how'd you do this? It's surprising. It seems like there's some magic afoot. So he is stunned. He asks, how's this possible? And she says that she's got some magic powers, and she hopes that these clothes won't get burned through like the others that he's been given thus far. And this is the part where I wrote in my notes in all caps, OMG, are we getting enemies to lovers? It's so fitting for Leo's only successful romance to be one that's impossible.
Yeah. And one of which he stumbles into by accident.
Right. All these things where immediately sees a girl that's very attractive and is all goo eyes, auga, head over heels for her. And potentially the one that's going to work out the best is where he shows up and immediately is like, grumble.
I didn't like you either.
She says that these clothes are fireproof, they will remain clean, and they will grow to fit him, quote, should you ever become less scrawny. We'll sneak this in there, so we're not fully at the lover's end of the spectrum yet.
But it's good. It's a fun little jab.
Yeah, it's fun. I like this. Leo tries to give a sassy thank you, but he is too impressed with the gift to hide his true emotions, which is great. So then he asks if she Googled him to learn what his outfit is, and she says, I do not know what that means. And Leo explains, you looked me up, almost like you had some interest in me. And I wrote in my notes, I don't know, man, that's a big shot. She might just be magic. Like, she might just be able to be like, here's his clothes. I don't know that she was spying on you.
Nah, there's a bunch of minor gods at Camp Half-Blood. You know, Google's the god of information.
Ah, but of course.
And the Roman aspect AI is just horrible.
I need to switch over to a non-Google. I need to switch over to one of the other ones that explicitly does not give you the AI summary, especially because there was the report that Google is like trying to eventually transition to where it's just the AI thing. It's not like any links. They really want you to stay on the website. Just, I've said this about like big rich billionaires. I wish they would compete to do cool stuff instead of just raising their net worth and extracting capital. But I would also love if tech companies would go back to just trying to make the best thing, like actually innovating in terms of offering the best product and not finding out the way to steal the most data and money out of their users without them noticing.
They're not even trying to hide it.
Oh, not anymore. I mean, Google literally removed "Don't be evil" out of their company motto, head staff, whatever, the thing where you have like the things the company stands for. My LLC doesn't have one, so I'm unfamiliar with the technical jargon. If I have one, it would just be like, make stuff and don't be a jerk about it.
Exactly.
But they removed "Don't be evil." Like, that's a little on the nose, and I feel like I even saw a quote by the guy who put it in there that was like, I've put this in there because it would be really tough to remove it, and here we are.
Oh, they did it anyway.
Did it anyway. Absolutely did it anyway. The real evil, while we're on the subject, is making Google Maps worse by just like having pay to play for suggestion. When I search for food, don't you dare suggest Subway. Do not. I have searched for food. Get out of here. Ugh, disgusting. Disgusting. Anyway, Percy Jackson. So He thinks she's looked him up. She wrinkles her nose and says that she just had an interest in keeping him decent and decently smelling as he walks around her island. And he says, oh, you're warming up to me. And she calls him the most insufferable person that she's ever met. She explains that she was just returning the favor of him fixing her fountain. And narrator Leo clues us into the context here, saying, quote, the problem had been so simple, he almost forgot about it. And apparently he fixed this fountain where a bronze satyr was turned the wrong way and the water pressure had an issue that just caused an annoying water spillage situation. So really he kind of fixed it just because he didn't like that it was broken, not because he's trying to do her a favor. But that was what she was trying to repay him for. Leo shrugs this off as no big deal. He just doesn't like to leave broken things unfixed. Calypso asks, what about the curtains over my entrance that you fixed? And he says, the rod wasn't level. And she goes, what about my gardening tools? And he goes, oh, well, I sharpened your shears because it's unsafe to use dull tools. And then she apparently, according to narrator Leo, does a good imitation of his voice and says he's really warming up to her. And come on, that's adorable. That's really cute.
I remember, I think, finishing that exchange and I was like, I should text Mike because I want to do these chapters.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
It's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I love that he's so clueless, but also it's just like, I think it's really sweet because his natural inclination is just to do things to make her life better. And he doesn't even think anything of it. You know, it's just very sweet.
Yeah.
I know you've caught me. My girlfriend's caught me. I'm like, a dull knife is a dangerous knife as I'm sitting there. Like,
you have literally purchased a knife sharpening kit for me when I had my less than stellar knives in my place in Hell's Kitchen.
Yes.
And it was helpful. It was helpful.
Yeah.
And I very much appreciated the gesture.
Yeah. Safety first. Doctor's orders.
Totally.
Don't use dull knives, everybody.
Don't do it. Absolutely don't do it. Narrator Leo says, quote, for once, Leo was speechless. Calypso's eyes glittered. He knew she was making fun of him, but somehow it didn't feel mean. And I wrote up my notes, it's called flirting, idiot. Ever heard of it? Come on. Especially, I'm definitely a sucker for poke fun at me, make fun of me in a cute way, which is tough. It's a tough needle to thread. It's a tough line to toe because sometimes it can just be you being mean.
Yeah.
You have to really hit it the right way. But when it works, at least for me personally, whoo, whoo. Kelly's good at it. Ooh, ooh.
I think she might like you, bud.
Oh, you think so? You think so?
Yeah. I think you got a shot.
I think I got a shot with my wife.
Yes.
Kid with.
Yes. I think she might like you.
Maybe, dude. Maybe I should see if she wants to hold hands later. I'll pass her. Can you pass her a note in study hall asking if she likes me?
I will. I'll even put the boxes. Check yes or no.
Yeah. Can you ask her out for me?
I'll do my best.
Thanks, bud. Thanks. She asks him what he's making. He looks at the bronze mirror and is a bit spooked by his visage. Before answering, he apparently looks a bit sunken. He says that it is a seeing device. He says they found one in Archimedes' workshop and it could help him see his friends. And I was thinking, oh yeah, I don't remember the Archimedes workshop thing. No, there was like a mirror that they saw, but it also reminded me of the shield that they had at one point that could like see stuff. But I think that was more of the shield let them see bird's eye view stuff. I think that was in book 5. Like Annabeth had the shield or Clarice had the shield or they both did.
Oh yeah. At Manhattan when they're like, what's going on? Yeah.
But that was like a point at the sky, move it around thing. This is like, I am now recalling the mirror that they saw in the Archimedes workshop. Calypso says, well, that's not possible because of all of the magic that surrounds the island. Time doesn't even flow properly here. And Leo says, look, there must be some contact with the outside world. How else would you know my outfit? And she says that seeing the past is simple magic, but seeing the present and the future is not. So we've got a challenge above us, but it doesn't seem impossible, just tricky. Leo then confidently says, watch and learn, sunshine. And he tries to start the device, but the sphere catches fire, which spreads to his sleeve, causing him to throw off his shirt. Calypso's fighting back laughter. He tells her not to say a word. She suggests a musical invocation, and he scoffs at this. As the a cappella boy, how did you feel about the magic of singing? Ooh.
I mean, dude, it works wonders. It's just so adorable. And I just love how he's like, that's not going to work.
It's the perfect foil because him being engineer, workshop boy, he's going to be thinking, no way, magic isn't going to be the thing. And then magic is the missing piece for this thing to work. It's perfect. They're a perfect fit.
It's great. It's very cute.
It's adorable. She begins to sing, and it hits him like the first cool day in Texas post-summer when you, quote, start to believe things might get better. I mean, that's so relatable for us.
It's so relatable. Because Leo's even from Houston.
Yes. I would feel this one when we were at Rice. Funny, I'm even wearing a Rice t-shirt as we record this. When we were at Rice University, you would move in, especially if you did O week, move-in day would be like August 10th, and it would be the hottest day of the year every year, and it was just so sweaty and gross. And then you'd have a couple of weeks where you would wake up and go to your first class of the day, and you'd be like, it's this hot at 8:45 in the morning? Damn it.
Just drench.
This sucks.
Yeah.
And then you finally step out once in like late October. I'm not exaggerating. You step out in late October and you're like, ooh, it's only 82 today. Whoa.
Life is good.
It's really good. And then you go home for Christmas break and then you come back and then it's like March 1st and you're like, how is it this hot already? What happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, Rick really hitting the relatable feeling. The first cool day, describing it as when you believe things might get better is just so.
Yes.
I just feel like I could always, when it was the first nice day, you would just see in my mind, I would just see the weather like trajectory and be like, oh my God, it's going to start going down. It's going to start going down.
We've hit the inflection point.
Incredible. So Leo cannot understand it, but he knows that this song is about a home to which she cannot return. He feels magic in her voice, but it's different from Piper's or Medusa's. This voice doesn't want anything from him. It's just providing him with good memories. She asks Leo if this has worked, and it's working now. The mirror is working. These holographic images without sound appear, and we can see Clarice ordering campers into battle lines, Cabin 9 fitting armor on Camp Half-Blood campers, Chiron is even in battle mode, the triremes are in the Long Island Sound, getting ready for battle. The catapults are prepped. The satyrs are scouting the land. Pegasus riders are circling the skies. They are ready for battle.
Which is interesting considering the entirety of the Roman Navy was, what, half a rowboat that Percy sank?
Yeah, but, I guess even if the bad guys aren't on water, you can just shoot stuff from your big boats at people on land, Yeah,
I feel like that's a pretty good strategy in Bloon's tower defense.
Yeah, I was going to say it's kind of like in Star Wars Battlefront where even if you're in a spaceship, you don't have to fight the other spaceships. You can just fly close to the little infantry troops and just shoot people. That's how you win that game.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
If you blow up a ship, you only kill one person. If you start shooting at like the masses of enemies, you can get dozens. It's just math. You've
cracked this open, Schubert.
I could talk a lot about strategies of Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PlayStation 2. I was locked in to Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2. There are some stories I could tell. Calypso asks who the war's against, and then Leo changes the scene and shows her the Roman legions approaching in a phalanx by a winery that he knows is near Camp Half-Blood. It's Goldsmith Winery, which feels like a deep cut / trivia potential / I bet Rick Riordan has someone in his life with the last name Goldsmith. Why else would you name drop this? That's my guess. This could be on the long list of Uncle Rick questions if I don't know, if they make a TV show about the House of Hades. I don't know. At this point, I'm just saying this so that later when I go through the transcripts and hit Control F, I'll remember that I posited this question.
Of course. On your 6th interview with Rick Riordan.
Oh, man. The next one, whenever the next one is, it's going to be fun. In theory, if all goes well, there's got to be some wood in here somewhere.
I have wood.
Yep, this chair. If all goes well, I should be doing season 3 press stuff. And for Titan's Curse, my favorite book of the first 5. That's going to be tough. Because when I did the interview with him for Sea of Monsters, I had my intern, I believe Emma, put together the list, like Control F through all of the transcripts. Anytime I said ask Rick a question. And there weren't that many Sea of Monsters questions that were TV show relevant. So it wasn't too hard for me to pick what to ask him about. I think Titan's Curse will be very hard because I feel like there's going to be a lot. It might be me solely asking about the awkward middle school dance scene. And if it is, I will feel zero regret.
That'd be amazing. It's him being a former teacher too. He's had a front row seat to the best of all of that.
Oh man. They haven't announced who's cast as Dr. Thorne yet, have they? Because that'll be really fun.
I'll do a quick Google right now, my friend.
Tell me if it's yes or no. Don't tell me who it is. I would love to be surprised as late as possible. But I think that's going to be really fun.
They have cast them. I will not tell you whom.
Okay. Is it someone that I would know? Is it like a super famous person? Because I feel like I have a vague memory of not recognizing them.
I don't recognize them right off the bat, but
Okay.
maybe
That's fine. But it's not like, I don't know, who's the most famous French actor?
the most famous French actor.
Why can't I not think of one?
Marion Cotillard? But I don't think she's the most famous, but she is, I think, French.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this guy. You would recognize him.
I will recognize. Okay.
When you think about it deeper, you will. But let's not dwell.
I will wait until I am surprised, because maybe it'll be in the show and that's more fun for me. But
Yes.
we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
Exciting. Anyway, Percy Jackson. So suddenly, in the mirror image, chaos just spreads through the ranks of the Roman fighters. And it's because our hairy twin friends are in there wreaking havoc. Leo is delighted to see them sticking to their word. I'm very excited because we did know earlier from one of the dreams, I think, that this was happening, but it wasn't Leo who saw it. I believe it was in Jason's dream, and people were talking about it, like Octavian was mad about it. So for Leo himself to witness it, I think is fantastic.
Yes, and for those at home, I was rapidly fist pumping the air because I know you can't see me, but I love our little twin friends.
It's really good. They're great. Shout out to Kelly Smith, who came to the Atlanta show dressed as Pasalos.
Yes.
Had the like zebra print hat, the plaid pants. It was a good look. The tags. It was a really, really good look.
That's awesome.
So Calypso wonders how long this distraction will last. Leo says, that's a good question. The scene then shifts to Octavian at a gas station surrounded by black SUVs. And this is very season 2 of the TV show coded. It really felt like... Also, I said that in a way as if I was saying season 2 of the TV show, coded, as if there is a coded television show, and I'm talking about season 2. No, it's season 2 of the Percy Jackson TV show, coded, where Luke showed up with the black SUVs outside of camp. I wonder if this inspired what they did. I wonder if Rick was like, we could kind of take the old House of Hades approach to it, which I think is very fun. It does make sense for shipping up an army to Long Island, because I don't think the LIRR is going to go all the way up to Camp Half-Blood.
No, certainly not. But I do have to say, we've mentioned Luke and Octavian in the same sentence, so I have to just take a second. Boo!
Gosh.
Okay.
Gosh. Just awful. Ugh, so awful. Octavian just universally awful. No redeeming qualities.
All my homies hate Octavian.
All my homies. I think the thing is, all my homies hate Luke, but all homies hate Octavian. I've never met a soul that was like, yeah, he makes a good point. So Octavian reveals the golden eagle on the staff. Leo has heard stories from Percy. It shoots lightning. Now he does, Leo, voice this out loud, and immediately Leo's like, ooh, I should have mentioned Percy out loud to Calypso. That was not wise.
Wasn't the best choice.
Not ideal. Leo was not surprised to see Calypso falter a little bit at the mention of Percy, but he is shocked at how angry he feels internally. He wishes that Percy never hurt this poor girl, meaning that he is very much falling for Calypso.
Mm-hmm.
The image then shifts to Reyna flying through a storm. She's cut up and bloodied. Her Pegasus looks exhausted. And then a griffin jumps out of the clouds and slashes Reyna's steed. Skippy-o, Skippy, no! She cuts down the griffin, but then 3 Venti arrive, and then the mirror goes dark. Leo yells at it, wanting to see what went down. Calypso thinks Reyna must be Leo's girlfriend, and oh my goodness, look at me go. I don't know that this actually confirms that they will be a thing, but long ago, I thought it would be funny if Leo was with Reyna, because I just feel like he needs to be with some sort of strong, powerful, independent woman. I think Calypso does fit that bill. I don't know how feasible a relationship with Calypso will be unless she does find a way to get off the island. That would be very interesting. So we'll have to see what goes there. Keep your trapdoor intact.
Of course, yeah.
If Leo and Reyna do become a thing, I will feel incredibly vindicated, because I called that so early.
Yeah, and I do have to keep the trapdoor intact, because I'm one good sit-down session away from just finishing Blood of Olympus. I am so close.
Exciting.
It's exciting.
Leo is confused about Calypso thinking this. He states, no, she's not my girlfriend. I just need to see more of what's going on. And the second time that he says, I need, a voice booms back saying that need is an overused word. And then Gia emerges from the sand in human form. Narrator Leo says, quote, Leo's least favorite goddess, the mistress of mud, the princess of potty sludge, Gia herself.
Potty sludge.
Yeah. Leo chucks some pliers at her like he's Thor in Thor Ragnarok at Loki. The greatest scene in that film.
Yes.
Potentially in the entire MCU. No, I think the best in the entire MCU is when Spider-Man goes, hey, buddy, I think you lost
We dropped this. Yeah, we lost this.
We dropped this and chucks the car door back at Falcon.
Oh, it's so perfect. Yes.
So good. Leo chucks some pliers at her, but they phase through her. So she must be some sort of apparition of sorts, or just like the sand particles are moving around like a Sandman and Spider-Man. So we can make two Spider-Man references in
Absolutely.
a 10-second span. Spider span. Her eyes are closed, but she's not asleep. She's smiling. And then Gia says, you want to live. You want to join your friends, but you do not need this, my poor boy. It would make no difference. Your friends will die regardless. Leo gets nervous, as he always does, around Gia, because he always is taken back to her speaking to him during his mother's death. And Leo says, what I don't need is more lies from you, dirtface. He says that she was wrong about his grandpa dying in the 1960s and about him not being able to save his friends in Rome. And then Gia laughs in a sound that is similar to the beginning of an avalanche, which we all know what that sounds like.
Oh, yeah. Universal experience.
I can imagine it, like tumbling rocks and stuff, but I have never witnessed an avalanche, and I never plan to.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever, 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 ever. Gia continues, I tried to help you make better choices. You could have saved yourself, but you defied me at every step. You built your ship, you joined that foolish quest. Now you're trapped here helpless while the mortal world dies. Leo then ignites his hands in a fit of rage. Calypso touches his shoulder and addresses Gia directly, saying that she is not welcome here. Leo wishes that he could be as confident as this teenage girl, but then he remembers, oh, right, this teenage girl is actually immortal and the daughter of a Titan. So,
yeah,
a little different than me, a teenage boy. Gia then raises her hands like she's offering a hug and says, Calypso, still here despite the gods' promises. Why do you think that is, my dear grandchild? Are the Olympians being spiteful, leaving you with no company except this undergrown fool? Or have they simply forgotten you because you're not worth their time? And as a trash talker, game respect game, this is really good. This is really good. To be like, is it option A, an insult, or option B, an insult?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And it's like, I'd really appreciate Gia in contrast to Kronos, because Kronos is just kind of a jerk.
Yeah, he was just like mean and creepy.
Yeah, whereas Gia really ups the psychological warfare aspect.
Yes, Kronos was never believable in the I'm going to make Percy Jackson my pawn. I never believed it at any second. And I don't think any of the 7 are going to become her pawns, but she's at least putting through a much better effort in that sort of approach towards the heroes.
100% agree.
Because she's trying to pit them against each other. She's trying to offer alternatives. She's, trying to pull some strings rather than just be like, join me, join me, join me, join me. Calypso stares through her face, which is very smart. Because again, as a trash talker, if I trash talked someone and they just stared through me like they didn't care and they said nothing, I would feel affected. I would feel like I made a mistake. I would be shaken up by this. So I think this is a smart move.
So Calypso would be great on the court.
She'd be incredible. Really, really solid. Both Gia and Calypso would be absolute menaces out there. Gia continues that the Olympians do not give second chances, so why would Calypso think they would do so for her? She then offers Calypso the chance to destroy the gods for good, like she had tried to do previously when she, Calypso, sided with her father in the first war. Calypso asks, where have you been the last few millennia? Why only arrive now? Which is a very good question to ask. Basically, where you've been for me lately, back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, they all on me, to quote Mike Jones. Gia says waking took her some time, war takes time too, and then basically threatens Calypso that she's going to destroy Ogigio when she takes over, so you better join me because otherwise you'll be here and you will be in the destruction. Quote, you do not have to be here when it happens. Join me now. Kill this boy. Spill the blood on the earth and help me to wake. Then carry Madame Zoroni up the mountain. I will free you and grant you.
I can drink.
I will free you and grant you any wish. Freedom, revenge against the gods, even a prize. Would you still have the demigod Percy Jackson? I will spare him for you. I will raise him from Tartarus. And then I thought, ooh, is this a loophole? Can we trick her into doing that? He will be yours to punish or love as you choose. Only kill this trespassing boy. Show your loyalty. Good little villain speech. Good little villain
Yeah.
speech. Can't knock it.
But still, the central thesis: no matter what, I'm destroying your home.
Yeah, the underlying thing. This is still a threat, so it's not ideal. Leo imagines that Calypso might take Gia up on this offer of trading an annoying boy for a dreamboat boy. But instead, she does the 3-finger ward away the curses move that Leo has seen before. She calls Gia a trespasser on this land, which is, yes, her prison, but also her home. The wind then dissolves Gia's form. Leo asks Calypso if she's gone mad for choosing not to kill him. And Calypso has a look of rage, but Leo can tell that this is a look of rage that he finally didn't spark. And the book ends chapter 52 with the following quote from Calypso: "Your friends must need you, or else Gia would not ask for your death." And Leo goes, yeah, I guess. And then Calypso responds, "Then we have work to do. We must get you back to your ship." Yeah! And that's the end of chapter 51, which I've retitled "An Unwanted Visit from the Mistress of Mud." Do you have a retitling of chapter 51?
I just called it Minecraft Leo Edition.
Very good, very good. Well, this is where we're going to take our mid-roll break, the House of Headlines, and we'll be back to cover chapter 52 after a time jump in real-life recording time. Let's see where we are. Ooh-wee! Yay! Hello and welcome to the House of Headlines Auxiliary Shubio Edition. I'm coming to you from the Auxiliary Shubio, and I have good news. At long last, we finally have the pre-orders available for the pins and the, if you weren't able to get them in person, orders for the Australia-New Zealand stickers. We've got other updates as well, but let's talk about this one first. So I posted about this on the Newest Olympian Instagram account, which is @NewestOlympian, but basically, I've got the pre-orders available for the Mayor of Tangent Town pins. I'm eventually going to put these on the TNO merch store, probably in August. But if you want to get them at a cheaper price, you can order them directly from me. Yay! The way that you do that is that you just send me $20 for the pin, because the pins itself are $12.50. The shipping is $7.50, and that doesn't change. If you live in Jakarta, if you live in Mozambique, wherever you live, that's the same shipping. So for international folks, get on it, because I'm pretty sure you get charged a lot more from the merch site. I don't know, because I've never had something shipped internationally from my own merch store provider. But anyway, you can get some savings. If you get multiple pins, the shipping price doesn't go up, so just keep adding pin price. But yeah, you basically just send $20 to me either on Venmo, which is @Shub's Creations, or PayPal, which is mike@shub.es, which is the email. And then just email a screenshot of the proof that you sent me the money to thenewsolympian@gmail.com, and then I'll send it your way. In addition to the Mayor of Tangent Town pins, which are gorgeous and shiny reflective gold and designed by Kelly, we also are allowing people to get the TNO Australia and New Zealand stickers, the TNOUR and the TNOA stickers. So if you live down under and you didn't get one of these at tour, it didn't work out, or if you just love a good pun or you think the sticker's cute, these are the 3 things that you can pre-order. Pre-order is going to be open through July, and then at the end of the month, we're going to stop doing this. But at any point in the month of July, if you send me some money either via PayPal or Venmo, and you send me a screenshot of proof, and you give me your address, that's the key thing in the email, put the address so I know where to ship it and everything. And then I'll send it directly to you. And that'll be cheaper than what it would be on the online merch store. Obviously internationally for shipping, but also for domestic, because my merch company that I work with charges more for shipping, and then you probably have to pay tax and all that kind of stuff like that. So that's what we got going on. Pre-orders for the month of July. And some folks were asking, these pins will be available at our 3 upcoming live shows that we're doing in the Northeastern United States. So that is the Brooklyn show we're doing in New York City, August 15th, and then the shows that we've got in Boston on September 20th and Philly September 27th. So if you live near there and you're coming to one of those shows, you don't got to worry about it. You can get the merch there at the live show, and then you don't even have to pay shipping. So it's even cheaper. And at live shows, I charge less for the pins. I think I only charge 12. I knock off that 50 cents because I don't want to deal with quarters, and neither do you. But yes, for an infographic with a recap of all of this, go to @NewestOlympian on Instagram. Aside from that, there's new things coming to the Patreon. We're going to be doing a new Q&A monthly live stream. I didn't do June's yet, so I'm going to make a post very soon about when the June one is. So if you're at the Mega God tier and above, you can plan accordingly so that we all know when we're going to do it. And then I will hopefully be adding new things to the Patreon soon. We've got bonus episodes, we've got director's commentary, we've got new things to add. So come on through, check it out. And speaking of the Patreon, I want to give a shout out to the folks who've joined the Patreon most recently. already. So shout out to our newest Super God tier patrons, Nia, and 230 eps in 6 months. And all I got was this Patreon account. That's impressive. That many episodes in that short of time. I commend you. Thank you so much for supporting the pod after going on such a great run. But shout out to everybody supporting. I really do appreciate it. May Hercules bless you, that if you are playing games, sports, any sort of trial and tribulation, that you just stay healthy out there. I played a bunch of softball in a 4th of July tournament this weekend. It was very fun. My knee's a little banged up. Would have loved a little more watching over from my guy Hercules, because he went through a lot of athletic endeavors. If you're all caught up with the new Olympian and you're looking for some new content to consume, you are in luck, because I make a whole bunch of content. I make a bunch of podcasts. I think you would like the podcasts that I make. One of the podcasts that I make that I think you would enjoy is called Professional Talkers. I make it with TNO mainstay Sequoia Simone, and it is a comedic advice podcast where we help you navigate through awkward conversations, things that happen with family, friends, work, otherwise. We're coming up on 1 year of the show's existence, which is very cool, and we will be announcing a different approach to the show when we do, but we've got a couple more episodes that we've already recorded and we just got to put together, and we've got a lot of really fun episodes that are already up. We did video episodes for the beginning run of it before it got too daunting and time consuming, but it's really fun. It's been so much fun to make it over the past year with Sequoia. I think you will enjoy it. Just search for Professional Talkers wherever you get your podcast, or you can go to our website, professionaltalkers.com. Now, unless you're listening on Patreon, we get access to ad-free and early release episodes. You're going to hear some words from a few sponsors make it feasible for me to be a full-time podcaster. Some of those ads will be read by me. Others of them won't be. The ones that aren't read by me are inserted locally. So if you live in Mongolia, don't be surprised if you hear an ad in Mongolian. But once those ads are complete, we'll get back into this episode of the News Olympian. And we're back. And time has passed. Now it's Tuesday, June 16th. And if there's a twinkle in my eyes and my voice and my heart, and if it sounds like I'm recording this one levitating, it is because my beloved 2025 NBA Cup champion New York Knicks have become my beloved 2026 NBA champion New York Knicks, which is absolutely wild. But Steven, you've been a very good sport about the whole finals. Your Spurs are very good and scary, and they are ahead of schedule, and they will be very good starting immediately. And I'm just glad the Knicks won this one, because it really felt like the short window in which we had to capitalize. And I'm glad we did.
This was your moment.
It was, in a lot of ways. My dad flew into town for Game 4 and 5. We went to Game 4 in person, and it was historically one of the greatest basketball games to ever exist.
Absolutely.
Easily the greatest Knicks game in history. Objectively, the largest comeback in NBA Finals history. Just an absurd game to be at. And then the plan was for my dad to be here for when Game 5 happened and then fly home after, flew home Monday. Thus, I really wanted us to win in 5. Kelly and I also tonight just went to a Broadway show for tickets we had booked a while ago, and I'm very foolish for not looking at the NBA final schedule, because that is set ahead of time. You can know when the games are going to be, and that was another thing of oh no, what do we do? So I'm glad we won in 5. I'm glad we won in general, and I'm glad that you were such a cool, chill sport about it. I very much appreciate that there was no negativity. You texted me immediately after the Game 4 game, wow, what a good game. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think for me, it's I'm also very spoiled. I had a whole childhood of the Spurs dominating.
Yeah, they've won 5 titles since 1999.
Yeah, I got to see all of them since I was a kid. It's and living here in New York City, there's such a huge, beautiful energy surrounding the Knicks, and it's how can you not be excited for how excited people are? And I root for the Knicks if they're the team playing and the Spurs aren't on. So it's not a huge lift for me to just be happy for you guys.
It's much appreciated. I do want to ask you a question, because Kelly got very invested in the series and now has very strong negative feelings about Victor Wembanyama, who I do as well. I went into the series, I'm on record on Horace being this guy's very likable. Mm-hmm. And then this series, he did some unlikable things, some dirty plays, some sassy moments, some rude moments on the court, off the court, etc. As a Spurs fan, how do you feel? And we will get back to Percy Jackson so soon, I promise, everyone.
I feel like this is almost just going to be a side segment and Horse at this point, which is hilarious.
Everyone should listen to the episode of Horse where I talk about it, the finals and all. But and the next 7 episodes, I'm assuming, I'm not going to want to talk. Come on, are you kidding me?
Absolutely. I guess for me, it's I think I more share your sentiments. you've gotten texts from me throughout the series too, where it's like, this isn't the way I would want to win. This isn't really the reputation I would want the Spurs to have or our star player to have, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in this David Robinson, Tim Duncan era.
The nicest dudes.
Yeah. You know, like, not to say that there weren't mind games played or anything like that, but they played clean, or at least they tried their best.
They certainly did. And they were very sportsmanlike and many times showed gratitude whether they won or lost. So yeah. And the thing with like Wemby's 22. I made many poor decisions at 22. So I'm not trying to put this upon someone. It was just disappointing because pre the finals he was such like a nice guy and seemed very unique in that way of like being very honest, open star. And then it turned into like, oh, it's not like, oh cool, he shows emotion. It was like, oh, he's emotional.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I was thinking about what I would say if we talked about this on the podcast too. And ultimately, if we were going to talk about Wemby, not about
specific,
the
yeah. Because that's, as I said in the mid-roll break for the episode that came out most recently at the time of recording the one with Paul, we're in a new era of TNO where I shoehorn the Knicks into every episode. That will be happening. If you're one of the people that doesn't enjoy the tangents, specifically if you're like, I don't know, Mike talking about sports, blah, blah, blah. Strap in, everyone. We're in the world where my New York Knicks have won an NBA championship. Oh, God. The Brooklyn NYC show is going to be great. I can't wait to talk about the Knicks for 2 hours, then be like, oh, oops.
Oh, my gosh. It's going to be great. But no, my thought is, my hope, you know, in a post-loss era like this for Wemby is that he will take this as a learning opportunity. And hopefully an opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
Because, like, we should earn the wins.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Just plain and simple.
Yeah. Look, let's run it back next year. Let's just keep doing this. Let's just keep doing this.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Okay. Anyway, Percy Jackson. But I am very happy. And I also must now officially, thank you. I also must now officially give the full credit. I made like one little post about this when the Knicks made the finals, but I didn't want to make too much content about this because I didn't want to jinx it and then look really bad. But shout out to John Steinberg. Shout out to Dan Schatz. Thank you for putting the joke into season 1 of Percy Jackson that the most unrealistic thing in the universe is that the Knicks are in the finals. Thank you for admitting that that was an intentional joke and willing this into existence. It was fun to beat their favorite team, the Philadelphia 76ers, in very embarrassing fashion along the way, but I know it's all good because I did get an email from Dan Schatz a couple of days before the finals began being like, the Knicks. So that's cool. And I don't have confirmation at the time of recording about whether or not I will be going to San Diego Comic-Con for season 3 press. But if I do, I will be only packing the hundreds of dollars I have spent on Knicks 2026 NBA champion merchandise. I will have 3 hats to choose from. I will have 4 t-shirts and 2 basketball jerseys to choose from. So there will be lots to, that's going to be the hardest thing.
Yeah, you should really, if you can, get another hat to give to them.
Oh man. If you know anything about, I was going to say, what's fun about hats and sports and stuff is that a normal t-shirt that says Knicks on it is like $30 and a shirt that says Knicks champions is somehow $65. Like,
Supply demand, baby.
Oh my God. I mean, like, it's the stuff that's going on with how quickly it's selling out is wild. It's insane. There was like one really particular hat that me and my dad were trying to get and it was like sold out, blah, blah, blah. And I just like happened to randomly pull it up like soon after a restock and it gives you the little like warning where it was like low stock and you click it, it's like there's only 15 left and it says they must have done a stock of 500 you know, when the hour started because it said 485 have been bought in the last hour and I was like, ugh!
Oh my gosh.
Added to cart, got it, so it's secured, but like it's going, man, it's going. Anyway, Percy Jackson, we're going to be talking about chapter 52, and that one is also called Leo, but of course, we will retitle it. Now, The beginning of this chapter is a quote that says, Leo thought he'd been busy before. When Calypso set her mind to something, she was a machine. So they're getting to work on this escape plan, and she's all locked in, and I love that for them. I love it a lot. It only takes her one day to gather enough supplies for a week-long voyage. She has woven together an enormous sail. She's prepped loads of rope. She is ready to go. They are in Tom Hanks castaway mode. Let's go. Calypso is so productive that by day 2, she's asking Leo if he needs any help with his projects, which I think is phenomenal. Leo looks up from the circuit board that he's working on and goes, quote, if I didn't know better, I'd think you were anxious to get rid of me. So cute. Really cute little flirty banter going between the two of them. It's fun. I'm worried to see how it will end because it just feels like an impossible relationship and I don't want Leo to be further crushed, but I don't know. It's at least right now, it's very cute.
It's very cute. Like you can see how it works between them. It's nice.
Now, narrator Leo notes that she is wearing work clothes now as opposed to her dresses. Calypso said that she realized how functional these clothes could be after she had been making some for Leo, so she made some for herself. Narrator Leo then says, quote, looking at her, Leo felt a tugging in his stomach that he couldn't quite explain. So he's in auga, tongue roll out the mouth, eyes gouging. Yeah. Leo says that he's almost done with the navigation system. All that's missing is a boat. And he asks Calypso if she wants to try leaving the island with him. And I think that's great. I think that's really fun. I didn't necessarily anticipate this, but Leo brings up, hey, Gia was kind of taunting you about trying to get off of the island, but joining her, why don't you try to get off the island, but join us, hang out with us? And just from a roster building perspective, I feel like having the daughter of a Titan on your team could prove quite useful.
Oh, yeah. She clearly has magic, can clearly whip up a lot of different clothes and stuff. Like, she's got skills, bro.
She's got skills. Vibes are good. And if we've learned anything from the 2026 NBA championship, it's that the power of friendship wins. That was the meme going around. It was like the Spurs, the unanimous defensive player of the year, the number 4 pick in the draft, the number 2 pick in the draft, et cetera, et cetera. The Knicks, the power of friendship. And the power of friendship prevailed.
The power of friendship won. Yeah.
Shout out to friendship. Calypso explains that her trying to join would absolutely tank their chances of escape. She says that the gods placed ancient magic on this island to keep her here. Quote, the most important thing is getting you free so you can stop Gia. Not that I care what happens to you, but the world's fate is at stake. Such good banter.
It's such good banter. It's just, they just keep going.
They really do.
It's really cute.
It's adorable. Leo asks why she cares about the world going to ruins, and she's been away from the world for eons. And she says it's mainly because she doesn't like being told what to do, and Gia was trying to tell her what to do, and she's a strong, independent daughter of a Titan who don't need no dirt lady telling her what to do.
I mean, extremely valid.
Yes, completely. And then Calypso continues on saying, as much as I hate the gods, I know that they are better than the Titans and they are miles better than the Giants. So they're not great, but what else are we going to do? Which I don't know that that's always the best defense. That's how you end up with like centrist Democrats in power. Like, strive for better, Calypso. There can be better. Look at Zoran's New York City.
Hey,
come on. The Knicks.
the Knicks won.
This is going to be every episode of TNO. So again, Calypso asks how she can help. This is the 3rd time that she's asked. And Leo asks, can you make a bag made out of flame-proof fabric? And I did not catch on to what was happening at first, but I love where this goes. She says, yeah, I can do this. It'll just take minutes. And Leo says, great, it could save a life. And once he said that, I realized, oh, we're making a special fireproof bag for Frank. How cool. And next level cool, Leo isn't necessarily Frank's best friend. They have the weird Hazel, love triangle, but also wait, she was dating my grandpa, so I don't think I can date her in good conscience. But at the same time, I think she's really cute and fun and nice and strong and powerful. And I still have these feelings and we had this moment and blah, blah, blah. So for Leo to overcome all of that, asking one favor of Calypso and it being make this thing that can help out my friend, really fun stuff, really mature stuff. I love the growth of Leo that has been happening.
Oh, for sure. And it's like, I think we always need to remember these are teenagers.
Yeah.
It's a real growth moment here because it's like teenagers are going to do dumb teenage stuff. They're going to get themselves stuck in these weird, bizarre, emotional situations, and showing the ability to step outside of himself and do what's best, not just for his friend, but for the squad, is a great moment to see from Leo.
Yeah, I really like it. I really enjoy what I'm seeing from him. So Leo asks, oh, also, can I have a piece of a crystal from your cave? And then that made me realize the astrolabe. Okay, very cool. Leo really sticking to the task. Love it. Calypso thinks that's an odd request. And Leo says, humor me. But since I have the very English PDF, he says, humOUR me. And I realize I have been saying when I make this joke, I haven't been pronouncing it right, because I've been saying like Kalur, but since it's an added U, I should be saying Kalour because of OUR being our. This is something when I'm like double checking Sherry's edits and doing little production stuff for the episode, I'm always like, I gotta do this. So I'm glad that humOUR me came up.
Yes, of course.
So Calypso says, yeah, I can do these tonight, but what can I do while my hands are dirty? And then she holds up her dirty hands, and the narrator, Leo, goes, she held up her calloused, grimy fingers. Leo couldn't help thinking there was nothing hotter than a girl who didn't mind getting her hands dirty. But of course, that was just a general comment, didn't apply to Calypso, obviously.
Obviously, no, definitely not. Definitely not.
That's one of the fun things. I haven't seen this type of humor in the narration from Uncle Rick before, and I think it's really funny. Like, this has happened multiple times throughout these sets of chapters, and it's a good bit. It's a really good bit, and I like that Rick has returned to it time and time again.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of the reasons I wanted to do these chapters, because I was just cracking. It's a very sweet story. I love these chapters for that, but I was just cackling for so much of it.
I think this is a really good example of finding Leo's unique voice in the narration, because obviously reading the first 5 books, narrator Percy is his own distinct character, and you get a sense of the jokes that narrator Percy makes, you get the sense of the jokes that Percy makes. And I felt like early in Heroes of Olympus, it just kind of felt like shades of Percy. But now I feel like when there's a Frank narrated chapter, it feels different. When it's a Piper narrated chapter, it feels different. And this is I think the hardest to separate from Percy, since Percy's such a silly, jokey narrator. I think maybe Lost Hero Leo narrated chapters felt a little bit just like Percy adjacent, but these, with this kind of joke and stuff like that, very much in particular, feels like, oh, no. There is a distinct narrator Leo voice, and it's very fun to see that really be honed in on in this book.
Oh, yeah.
So Leo suggests that Calypso could twist bronze coils, and before he can say, oh, it's very specialized, she gets right to it and says that it's like weaving, so it's right in her wheelhouse. Leo says, quote, well, if you ever get off this island and want a job, let me know. You're not a total klutz. And then Calypso smirks and says, a job, eh? Making things in your forge? And narrator Leo, I'll just like quote this as a book because some of the other stuff is fun. Nah, we could start our own shop, Leo said, surprising himself. Starting a machine shop had always been one of his dreams, but he'd never told anyone about it. Leo and Calypso's garage, auto repair, and mechanical monsters. And then Calypso goes, fresh fruit and vegetables. And Leo goes, lemonade and stew. We could even provide entertainment. You could sing and I could, like, randomly burst into flames. And then to close it out, narrator Leo says, Calypso laughed, a clear, happy sound that made Leo's heart go kabump. Oh. How fun, all around. Sharing of the dreams, that's definitely a real I found the right person thing where you're just talking and you just blurt out something that you did not mean to blurt out. And you're just like so infatuated. You're talking before you can even think about it. Your filter's completely gone. You're just saying whatever comes to mind, just blurting out, I love you.
Yes. And they're so game for it. It's just so cute. They're just loving this shared fantasy, this shared dream together. Oh, it's just so sweet. I don't know the clientele that's coming in to get like their car worked on and fresh fruit and live music. And
lemonade and stew. Yeah, it feels like they've got a bit too much going on. You need to rein it in. Find your audience. Find your niche. Then you can expand. Unless they're going for the Costco approach. We do it all.
We do it all.
We got it all, baby. So Calypso tells Leo to get back to work, and then they work in silence, side by side, for the rest of the day. So this console is finished 2 nights later. Leo and Calypso have a picnic near where he crash landed, and then they're all packed with everything. They just need a boat. Narrator Leo tries not to get his hopes up too much, given that in reference to talking about what comes next, Calypso said all we need is the boat. He was like, I'm not going to think about the we too much. I'm not going to think about the we too much. Leo says that he can start chopping wood tomorrow, and then in a few days, they'll have enough for a small hull. And Calypso asks, how long until you set sail? And she's staring down at the ground, so seemingly sad. And Leo guesses another week, but then internally, he's glad that it's going to take some time. And this is definitely a feeling that I've had before in certain situations where, yes, there's something that can extend it, but you're like, oh, cool, this means I get to either spend more time with a certain person or in a certain situation or in a certain location. So I totally get where Leo's at here.
Oh, for sure.
Now, Leo and Calypso go back and forth a little bit, but the basic summary here is that Leo reveals his plan is to return here with Festus to save Calypso. He is convinced that he can rebuild Festus as full-fledged dragon Festus and then use the astrolabe to improve his navigation and get back to Ogygia. But Calypso says he cannot return because it's impossible. The rule is that no man can find Ogygia twice. And now, given this state of Knicks bliss I'm in, there's a guy on the Knicks, OG Anunoby, whose name is Ogugwa. So every time Ogygia was there, I was like, oh, right. Oh, the OG Anunoby tip-in. Wow, I love OG. Leo says that he's not very good at following rules. And he says that coming back for her and taking her wherever she wants to go is what he plans to do, as it is what is fair. And then narrator Leo says, fair. Calypso's voice was barely audible. In the firelight, her eyes looked so sad. Leo couldn't stand it. Did she think he was lying to her just to make her feel better? He considered it, given that he would come back and free her from this island. How could he not? It seems like a tall task, but I like him trying. It would be fun.
Hey, I mean, Leo's a hard-headed boy.
Mm-hmm.
All I remember, though, reading this chapter as I'm seeing Calypso look down so sad over this statement is like, damn, is Uncle Rick going to do this to us again?
Right. Yeah.
Just watch us devastate Calypso again.
Yeah. At this point, when this was going on, I was thinking, okay, there's a couple of different things that can happen here before I know how this ends. One, Calypso does actually end up leaving with Leo, and they try to make it work. Mm-hmm. Two, more likely, Leo leaves and then has to do like a I'm coming back for you thing. And then I don't know what would happen after. I don't know how the conversation would go. But my other thought that I had at this moment was, okay, so maybe if there's no other relationship either here or elsewhere with Leo, like he doesn't get with Reyna or he doesn't find a way to make this Calypso thing work by the end of Heroes of Olympus, I could see the whole what are you going to do now thing, him being like, I'm going out on my own with Festus and we're going to try to save Calypso. Like I could see that being that's how the series ends for him. And then I don't know if he comes up in Trials of Apollo. I don't know, like the timeline of all the other books and stuff. So that was just this little thought of, ooh, this could be his, I'm going to get her back. And then who knows if it ever happens. A fun way to kind of make him do an off-screen thing, kind of like at the end of Sea of Monsters, or I guess at the end of The Lightning Thief, when Grover is saying, all right, I'm going to go find Pan, a way for him to have this big, seemingly impossible task that gets him out of the book so we can introduce new characters.
And I'm keeping my lips tightly sealed because in our random gap between the recording of the episodes, I finished Heroes of Olympus.
Very cool. Very cool. Love that. So anyway, back to what actually happens. Leo tries cracking a joke about how he can't start Leo and Calypso's auto repair without her, but she's just not in a laughing mood. So he looks out over the water while saying that he will get started on the lumber tomorrow. And then he sees a large wooden raft floating to shore in the distance, and it comes all the way to sand. Calypso calls for him to hurry because she's not sure how long it'll stay. And Leo feels sad because he just took joy in having more time here, but now he's told, oh my gosh, we got to get out of Dodge. He asks if this is the magic raft, and Calypso goes, duh, confirming it, saying it might not work in the way it's supposed to and take him wherever he wants to go, but we should still hook up your navigation system and let's do it. I mean, and obviously you got to hook up that navigation system if the magic's not working properly. Clearly the magic is being a little wonky. It's unstable. We don't know how the raft is going to work. And me reading this, I was wondering, ooh, is this a Hephaestus thing? Like, is this Hephaestus helping out his kid?
Whom's to say?
Who is to say? They attach the console to the raft. They start getting the sail set up because this raft does have a mast because, of course, they get Wilson the volleyball set up in the corner. He's all ready to go. And they are just working in absolute perfect harmony. Narrator Leo lets us know that they work better than he has with any other Cabin 9 person. And Cabin 9 campers, this is kind of supposed to be their thing. So that is certainly high praise.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting all ready to go. They've got the sail in place. Leo busts out a sphere, and then he mutters a little prayer to Hephaestus, and then the console springs to life. So the sail is turning, the rope rigging is all good to go. They're bumping up against the sand. They're getting out towards the waves, and Calypso calls for him to go. Leo turns around, and he's just crushed because she's so close that he's like, oh no, yeah. Quote, as the narrator, she smelled like cinnamon and wood smoke, and he thought he'd never smell anything that good again. And he says to her, okay, like the raft is finally here. And then Calypso snorts, narrator Leo saying, her eyes might have been red, but it was hard to tell in the moonlight. You just noticed? But if it only shows up for guys you like, and man.
Leo.
And she gives a great response. Don't push your luck, Leo Valdez. I still hate you. And he replies, okay. And she doubles down saying that he's not going to come back here. Don't give her any empty promises. I don't want to be crushed again. And Leo's response to no empty promises is, quote, how about a full promise? Because I'm definitely... And then she grabs his face, pulls him in for a kiss, and that gets him to be quiet. And narrator Leo says, quote, for all his joking and flirting, Leo had never kissed a girl before. Well, sisterly pecks on the cheek from Piper, but that didn't count. This was a real full contact kiss. If Leo had gears and wires in his brain, they would have short-circuited. And then she pushes him away, saying that this kiss did not happen. And again, Leo hits her with, okay. But his voice was an octave higher than normal, so it's, okay. She tells him to go again, and he goes, okay. And then she does turn, and she's wiping her eyes, so confirm that she's crying. And she just walks along the beach into the breeze. Leo wants to call out, but then the sail catches the wind, and it pulls the raft out into the water, and he's trying to get the guidance console to work, and he's focused on that. And then when he looks back, the island of Ogygia is just in the horizon. It's just dark in the distance. As the narrator, he says, quote, his lips still tingled from the kiss. And then the book ends this chapter with the following. That didn't happen, he told himself. I can't be in love with an immortal girl. She definitely can't be in love with me. Not possible. As his raft skimmed over the water, taking him back to the mortal world, he understood a line from the prophecy better. An oath to keep with a final breath. He understood how dangerous oaths can be, but Leo didn't care. I'm coming back for you, Calypso, he said to the night wind. I swear it on the river Styx. And that is the ending of this chapter. In this moment, I was wondering, is this actually the oath to keep with the final breath, or is he just thinking about the prophecy and that's thinking about it? Like, I feel... And maybe this is just the classic misdirection, but oath with a final breath to me felt like someone's gonna die and there's gonna be some sort of promise oath involved. I don't know that this feels like a final breath. I guess like the final one that they were together for. Obviously, your chapter's in text, so you can't really say anything here. That's just like what was going through my brain at the time.
It was real nice of you to install this all the way here on my house in Long Island. Like that was
gotta do it. Thank you to everyone on Patreon who can fund all of the trapdoors I've installed all over the globe at this point in time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was what was going through my mind. I'm not really sure. But at the end of the day, it was cool to see that what I had is that initial thought of he's going to try to come back, be confirmed here. I do feel like this is going to be the ending thing. This is going to be his next big quest sort of deal. I love this. This is obviously crushing again. Oh, and I think it's really fun because the Calypso stuff starts with almost like painting her in a way that's supposed to make us not feel as positively towards her as we did. Like, I feel like in the Percy thing, it was like, oh man, she really got screwed over. And then the beginning of these chapters, it's like, okay, she's kind of rude to Leo. Maybe Percy wasn't such a bad guy, especially fresh off the Percy regret chapters. So when I was first reading, it's like, oh, maybe this is supposed to have us feel not as bad with all of this. But I think it just sets up, again, like more of the heartbreak and more of the crushing nature of Calypso because, oh, now we've gone through a full enemies to lovers arc, which was really cute and sweet and romantic. romantic and fun and kept you guessing. And now it's like, oh man, this curse that she has just like keeps happening.
Oh yeah, that's how I felt. It's like I felt kind of opposite. I think these chapters humanize her even more than the time we had with Percy. I know like her being kind of rude to Leo is just more funny to me. Like just like, oh man, this again?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it even took me a beat when I was reading this to realize that the raft was because of the normal thing.
Yeah.
Like the normal I fall for the guy sort of raft. As I said earlier, I thought this was like, oh, is this a Hephaestus thing? Is he helping him out? It's like, no, it just happened again.
Yes.
It just happened again. And it just stinks. So I really hope, whether it gets resolved or not, this would be a very cute arc for Leo to come back and try and get her. And I know I had like long shot predicted Leo ending up with Rhaena, but the core thing of that was I just predicted Leo would get with some sort of strong, independent woman based on his clearly defined type throughout this series. And this certainly fits the bill. I never could have predicted that Calypso was going to come back. So this is at least like in that wheelhouse. And it makes me feel really happy because it feels like the right fit for Leo. It's really fun. It's really fun. I retitled chapter 52, Calypso Creates a Short Circuit, because I thought it felt like a fun misdirect. You would think it happens with that, but it's his brain. What about you?
Somebody finally shuts me up.
Oh wow, that's really good. That's A+ work. I love that. And you know what? I love you. And I love this. And this was a fun set of episodes. Steven, thank you so much for joining. If people want to find you doing stuff, where can they find you doing stuff?
They can listen to your wonderful podcast. I kind of wander around there. I know we did a Meddling Adults episode, which I don't know when it's coming, but
I'm working on them.
Exciting.
I'm working on them. I don't know if by the time this comes out, if they will be out. I'm trying to figure it out. But basically, I had recorded 3 so that I could finish season 5A, because I had for season 4 done like 5 and 5. I did 2 like scattershot episodes. But yes, if it's not out at the time of you hearing this, it will be out in the near future. Steven goes toe to toe, head to head, brain to brain, notebook to notebook, magnifying glass to magnifying glass against Alex Goldman, formerly of Reply All, currently of Hyperfixed.
Yes.
And it was a really fun one. We did Shelby Woo mysteries, which are always a good time. And it had been a minute since we've done a Shelby Woo episode. So I'm stoked for people to hear it.
Yeah, me too, man.
But Steven, thank you for joining. Listeners, thank you for listening. And until we figure out what's going on next time, I think we're due for non-Leo narration. So it'll be someone else, but I've not looked ahead. And until we see what's going on with somebody, I guess Annabeth and Percy, until then, I'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, do you want to tell people your thoughts are your own and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The thoughts and opinions and hopes and prayers.
I'll just have this like slowly fade out like it's the end of the song and it'll fade out into the
just
closing theme
stuff.
music. Yeah. Tell them about your thoughts.
The thoughts and prayers and feelings and hopes and joys and dreams and everything that everyone wants are mine and mine alone. Goodbye.
Perfect. Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Newest Olympian. This podcast is created, hosted, and produced by me, Mike Schubert. I also run the social media and the website. Our editor is Sherry Guo. The music is by Bettina Campamanes and Brandon Grugel, and the art is by Jessica E. Boyd. If you just cannot get enough of the show, there's a couple of different things that you can do. First off, you can find us on social media. We're at Newest Olympian on Instagram and other places, but Instagram's where we're most active. You can also support the show on Patreon. TheNewestOlympian.com/Patreon is where you get access to bonus episodes, director's commentaries, behind-the-scenes looks in the pod, as well as our Discord. It's a phenomenal community with lots of wonderful TNO listeners. You can get access to that. The TNO Patreon is also where you can get live show replays and other digital goodies. But you can also go to thenewsolympian.com/merch to rep the show with some physical and digital merch as well. Speaking of the Patreon, let's give a shout out to our producer level patrons in the Olympic court level of the Patreon. So shout out to Kelsey Gillespie, Vicky Garcia, Frida, Megan Moon, Polly Burge, Nikki Harris, Tatiana Schmidt, Sam Reeby, Mrs. O'Leary, Milo Kim, Sandkopf, Rayla Matthews, Sky Mallory, Mick Walters, Grace, Bradimus Prime, Skylar Sisters, Scott Sheldon, Ann M. Thayer Cohen, Bella, Percy Jackson, Kit Kat Crumbs, Andrea, not Andrea, Terry Rothfuzz, Certified Ghost King's emotional support friend, Lee Hartley, Marco Redhouse, and Raccoon Moon 149. If you want to support the show in a non-monetary way, word of mouth is huge, goes a long way for podcast growth. So you could talk about the show with someone directly, you could post about it on social media, you could leave us a rating and review on whatever podcasting app you're using. All these things really do help. I appreciate anyone who has done it in the past or will do it in in the future. But I'm just so thankful that you tuned into this episode, and I hope you tune into our next episode where we'll be joined by Red from Overly Sarcastic Productions to break down chapters 53 through 56 of The House of Hades. But until then, I'll pursue you later. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's me, ASMR Mike. So as I mentioned, I was playing some softball this weekend, and I was playing softball in my summer visor because it's the summer season and I want to let my hair breathe and I want to let the sun give it some natural highlights and stuff. So I wear this bright pink visor that was a gift to me from Dr. Stephen Parra. It's from a minor league baseball team, the San Antonio Mission, but for a couple games a year, they have an alternate identity, and they're the Flying Chanclas de San Antonio. And that is, yes, a thrown flip-flop, usually from grandma's. So it's this bright pink, very fun visor, and it keeps my hair all nice and healthy and all that good stuff. But it's a Velcro back. So for this ASMR Mike segment, I'm going to undo and redo the Velcro. Here we go. Oh, that's so satisfying. One more time. Hopefully my audio cleanup software didn't get rid of too much of that. Thank you so much for listening.